Good evening, everybody. Most respected Chairman, Sri Dayal Patel, most respected Academic Director, Sri Amol Damhere. I hope I am pronouncing your name properly. Respected Director of this institution, Mr. Bhaskar, Director Mr. Kirti, and Mr. Muralidharan, Mr. Subramaniam, who is not here, and other dignitaries, dear parents, and my beloved young children. I am exceedingly happy to be here as a guest of honor for this first annual day of this Trichy Public School. It's indeed an honor. I must thank the director and Mr. Muralidharan, of course, and Mr. Amol also. The academic director, I am really very much impressed that within 5 to 10 minutes he is able to impress us by giving the details in nutshell about the origin of this institution, about the kind of facilities which are there in this school, and the future plan. Within 10 or 15 minutes, I am really happy. He's very dynamic. Exceedingly happy to meet him on this occasion. Of course, this is an occasion where parents have come to see their wards performing some performances out here. I should not take much time. In fact, I checked with Mr. Amul also how long I can take. He said, sir, you take about as much time as you wish. But I will not take, I understand the situation. I will not take more time. I'll take about 10-15 minutes to share some of my thoughts and experiences. So if you look at the net enrollment ratio, in the sense number of students coming to school as a proportion of the total children in a particular region in a particular year, the net enrollment ratio is almost 100% in Tamil Nadu. Please give a big hand. If you compare other states, Tamil Nadu is really faring well. It is 99.7%, close to 100%. Thanks to schools like this. And if you look at the data some 30-40 years back, it was hardly 30 to 40% net enrollment ratio. Students enrolling at the primary school level was hardly 30-40%. Now it has come to close to 100%. So that itself is a big success. And these sort of institutions are contributing a great deal. On the one hand, we are very happy to see that we are able to enhance the number of children coming to school. On the other hand, we are very much concerned about the quality of education. Quality education or quality of education cannot be improved overnight. It is a process. It has to be done over a period of time. And if you look at the infrastructure facilities in this school, I am really confident that down the line, maybe 10 years, 20 years, Tamil Nadu will also be able to compete with Maharashtra from the state where Mr. Amol is coming. And even if you look at the gross enrollment ratio for higher education, Tamil Nadu stands first in India. It was hardly 6% some 10 years back. Now, gross enrollment ratio for higher education is 42%. Nowhere you find in India, Tamil Nadu stands first. So we have several credentials, but the challenge is how to improve the quality. Quality is extremely important, as Mr. Amal was also saying. Many of the students who come out, they don't know the basics. And he also made a mention, it is always easy for us to teach at the college level, university level, because they have some knowledge, it is easy to, impart some ideas. But to teach young children at the kindergarten level is extremely difficult. So I really congratulate the teachers of this school, primary school teachers. And if you want to improve the quality, as I said, it's a big challenge. It cannot be done overnight. But one can initiate the process. And if you want to do it, you need to look around the neighborhood, states, and even other countries. In fact, I was so much fascinated to read a paper published in a standard academic journal It was a study on education, primary education pattern in Finland. Finland is a country in Europe. There was an American lady who conducted a study on the primary school education in Finland. It is amazing. Finland's experience is really, you know, one has to really understand, one has to lay your hands to understand the kind of system that is being followed in Finland. And the system in Finland is quite interesting in the sense primary school education is done by government. All the schools are run by government in Finland. And my dear chairman, other friends, do not mistake, I'm not trying to compare Finland with India and with the schools of this kind. No. This is only though we need to see whether we can infer some lessons from those countries. It is being run by government and they don't charge any fee, absolutely free of education. We can, it's very difficult to, appreciate this. Free education is given and, proximity, they have number of schools where the children need not spend more time in, reaching the school. They can reach within 5-10 minutes. No transport is required. They can even go by foot. They can walk and reach the school. And the school hour is hardly 6 hours. School children spend hardly 6 hours in the school. And you know something? School children can join school only at the age of 7. Not before that. Not before that. And from 0 to 7, children are prepared physically, mentally. Of course, Mr. Subramaniam has come. He's a family friend. He's a very distinguished man who has a lot of reputation in the city. Children, they prepare till they attain the age of 7, physically, mentally. Only then they become eligible to join the school. And it is very difficult to believe a fact which is there in Finland, that school teachers are highly paid. Can you believe this? This is not a TV serial. Mr. Amol, is a fact. Is a fact. School teachers are highly respected in Finland. They are highly paid. And the way they select the teachers, they follow a very rigorous method to pick up school teachers. Once the government selects these teachers, government gives full freedom for them to, operate, frame the syllabus, everything. And another important thing is, curriculum is same for all the schools. Unlike in India, we have CBSE pattern, state government pattern, and central government. They have a different pattern, matriculation, Anglo-Indian, Samachir. You have n number of patterns in India, but there in Finland, they follow same curriculum for all the schools. That is something really fascinating. And school teachers, as I said, no, you might feel that, I'm trying to exaggerate the role played by primary school teachers. I would like to submit one particular point, that 50% of the Nobel laureates, Nobel Prize winners in the last, say 10 or 15 years, Nobel Prize winners in physics, chemistry, biology and other disciplines, they concurred with the fact that their source of inspiration is none other than primary school teachers. Please give a big hand for primary school teachers. It's really a very tough task, as Mr. Amal also accepted. They are the source of inspiration for Nobel laureates. So primary school teachers have, great responsibility on their shoulders to discharge. Of course, and in Finland, students, young children, they spend less time in schools. As I said, they spend only 6 hours. The rest of the time they spend at home. Homework is minimum. Homework is minimum. So I can go on be narrating the experiences, but it was so fascinating, and it is something which is to reckon. The experience of Finland, the primary school system, is something very interesting which all of us need to reckon and try to emulate. And secondly, and of course they only take 20 students. They don't take more than that. And for the parents, and even for the teachers, I would like to have a word of advice. Of course, Mr. Amol said, I cannot give some advice for environmental care. I would do that if time permits. I just would like to have a word of advice for teachers in this school. You can't assume all the students alike, all the children alike. Those are the days. Now, students you should try to classify them in terms of A and B. A being fast learners, B being slow learners. And you should adopt certain methods to identify who are the fast learners and who are the slow learners. And don't ever underestimate slow learners. If you look at many of the achievers, they're all slow learners. It is in the hands of primary school teachers to identify them and harness and bring out the potential. Don't ever neglect, don't ever ignore those slow learners. You need to adopt special strategy to teach slow learners. Of course, for fast learners, you can also adopt different methods of encouraging them, giving them more exercise. At the same time, identify slow learners and give them training. And there are also children who are very mischievous. Now they are called ADS, attention deficiency syndrome. They'll be so mischievous. They are only drawing our attention. They want our attention. They do all these mischievous things just to draw our attention. So teachers have the responsibility to identify slow learners, fast learners, and mischievous students, and then adopt strategies. Thereby, you can bring out the potential of all the students. That the task lies with the primary school teachers. Besides giving them lessons, you should also learn to, of course, you may be doing it in this school, but it is my duty to submit that particular point here. And for the parents, of course, parents are parents. There are, now in the modern age, children are different from the olden days. Now these electronic gadgets are there, television, laptop, mobile, those kids are there, they're well versed with it. Half of the time, not half of the time, 75% of the time they're spending with this virtual medium. They are in virtual world all the time in the world. And it is the responsibility of the modern parents, new parents, to see how to, you don't just try to stop them. You will fail. You should understand, you should try to regulate it. If you try to curb it totally, you will only fail. You should try to understand, you should try to allot some time for them to watch television, some time to play with the video games and all that. If you just bring in too much of pressure on them, they will never obey. But you must understand, we are living in 21st century. They are bound to play with, they are bound to meddle with all these virtual electronic gadgets, but it is a duty of the parents to, to see that it is all being regulated. It is a duty of all the parents to do that. Number two, now, drugs, of course, this is of course not for young children here in the school doing primary and kindergarten level, but parents should also be watchful. And, they should try to check and see that they are being given good morals and all that, even at the primary age itself. Physicians are saying the full brain growth of the child is from 0 to 1 to 5. Within that age, the full brain growth is, the neurons growth is it till the age of 5. So it is the time that you give them all moral values. All these can be imbibed only at that age. So parents should be a role model. Parents should be a role model. If you should sit with them, parents should spend more time with the kids. That is also required. That is lagging among the modern parents. So that the parents should take care. And as I said, see, we are all professors teaching at the university. The propensity to speak is more. So I wish, I stop here just since our friend Mr. Amol, academic director, very dynamic. He is a very smart man. He looks like a Hindi actor. I was really pleased to see him. The moment I got down, I thought some Mr. Muralidharan has invited some Hindi actor. Very smart and very dynamic. Very dynamic, is highly knowledgeable. And I am very confident that this Trichy Public School is in the right hands. I am exceedingly happy. And he has requested me to say a few words about environmental care. Students should be taught at this level, all these green practices. Very simple. It might look very trivial. Dust is, of course, I don't find anywhere dust is not there, but try to inculcate wherever that, if you put the dust outside, it becomes pollutants. If you put it in the dustbin, it becomes gold, really. Waste can be converted into wealth. So that kind of simple things, if you teach at that level, they will immediately follow. And also give them some kind of insights about nature. Ask them to, understand the basics of nature. They will start enjoying. They will start loving. So you can, the school teachers, school management can start all these green practices within the school itself. How to, treat the waste that is coming out from this school campus. You can have simple composting yard, simple sewage treatment for the school, so that the young children will learn. Young children at this age itself will learn that, these waste should not be, put indiscriminately. Even if it is a wastewater, it can be treated properly. Waste can be dumped into dustbin, can be compost, can be converted into manure. All these simple practices can be done within keeping in view the space limitation, all that. All these can be taught within the school itself. Thereby, once they learn at this age, even if they attain the age of 75, 80, they will remember, they will follow it. And the school can start these sort of simple practices like, putting the dust in the waste bin, dustbin, and composting yard, simple sewage treatment. These are all very easy. And what is the significance of having a tree? How much of birds coming and resting on the tree? How much of soil which is being held intact by a tree? What is the amount of oxygen being released by a tree? How much of carbon dioxide being sequestered by a tree? All these can be taught at this age itself. So there's green practices, green initiatives, green campus initiative. Of course, it is already it may be there in the curriculum. You can bring it as a concrete form in the school. Thereby, and as he said, that is going to be a problem in future. We don't know how to deal with the waste. We don't know how to manage with the environment. Not only India, all the countries in this world are worried about climate change. People are making hue and cry at this stage. But when the solution lies with training young children. So the right opportunity is there for young children. And I think I have already taken more time as the parents are anxiously waiting to see the performances of their wards. I am exceedingly happy. My heart is full. I am really honored that I must thank the organizing committee, of course, the director, Mr. Bhaskar, Mr. Muralidharan, of course, all the more the chairman, Mr. Dayal Patel, and now more so my new friend, academic director. I would also welcome to our university to give a lecture in my department. I am really impressed to see him, and I am confident that this school is in the right hands. So with this, let me thank once again. I thank all of you. I wish you tons of luck. This school will become #1 down the line in another 10 or 15 years. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.